We are joined by Ayisha, who is going to be talking about revolutionary architectural design with AI and data science, innovation and ethical considerations. And as a reminder, we will have Q&A at the end of the presentation. You'll have about 10 minutes. Just please raise your hand at that time so we can bring the microphone over, and that way everyone online can also hear your question. And with that, I'll leave it to Ayisha.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. So hello everyone, this is Ayisha. So I work in cloud architecture space for Pfizer, and I also have my own edtech called One Stop for Cloud, just out of passion for my teaching. And thank you so much, UMN, for this opportunity. So yes, today we'll be talking about the revolution that AI architecture is bringing in different aspects of the architecture space. So when we talk about architecture, we have business architecture, we have data architecture, we have cloud, we have application, you name it, and we have it. And that being said, you know, today's discussion will mostly revolve around the most focused technologies in the AI space, especially in IT architecture, and also what are the ethical considerations and how to overcome those ethical considerations to make the technology more adaptable. So, before I dive deeper into the technical aspects, let me just give a brief overview about the role of AI in the modern architectural practices. So when we talk about the IT architecture, we mostly have like three frameworks. One is TOGAF, Archimate, and SAFe. And each one have the fundamental elements, right? And that is where we are trying to integrate the AI's capabilities to achieve the most accurate outcomes. So there are 5 spaces in IT architecture, which includes different aspects of the TOGAF, Archimate, and SAFe, which are incident response, proactive incident management, which forms part of monitoring and observability, automation in terms of MLOps and AIOps offering, analytics, whether it is business analytics, market analytics, or incident analytics, or RCAs, or coming up with the most apt architecture design for a specific use case. For example, if I am building an architecture for retail client, I will have to consider the microservice-based architecture. If I am building an architecture for a federal client, like in the banking sector or defense sector, then data integrity, data protection, data encryption, and cybersecurity is at the forefront of things. So there is this delta variation that we have to consider while designing the architecture, and that is where AI is coming very handy. It is complementing the existing solutions, and also it is improving the speed of deliverables. And root cause analysis is one of the sought after in every organization, in every enterprise, because every minor issue which results in the traffic disruption results in millions of dollars of, loss, especially in a well-established sector, like the well-established clients, like we have Macy's, we have Amazon, right? We have Flipkart, and we have various different entities that are well-established and that are used by millions of users across the globe. So what is the benefit of data-based AI architecture design? Just considering this, like 5 years ago, we had a lot of documentation, whether it is the tool-specific documentation or AWS documentation, Microsoft Azure documentation, or Oracle OCI documentation. So we had to go through it and scrape the data manually and spend a lot of time in terms of weeks and months to do the comparative analysis, which was manual, we going through the documentation, coming up with solutions, and doing the comparative analysis. So whereby, a human being, of course, is at the forefront, but at the same time, when we have documentation in terms of hundreds and thousands of pages, then it becomes, practically challenging to actually do the accurate analysis. That is where AI agents are helping us to do the comparative analysis. right? And wherein we can produce the summaries, we can feed multiple documentations and ask or provide the prompts to do the comparative analysis. And we have products like Google's Gemini with different models, like Gemma 1 and Gemma 1.5 with increased token handling capabilities, which is actually helping us to do it more accurately, more efficiently, and with enhanced speed. Right? That's the first aspect of it. So we have, this is helping us in coming up with the most accurate and efficient solutions. It is also helping us to do the faster problem resolution in terms of we are collecting the data, like we are collecting the data of the incidents in the past 3 months, past 6 months, past year, and we are analyzing what are the repetitive events, how can we address it faster, or how can we proactively identify it and resolve it before the impact is felt from the customer side, right? That's one aspect of it. And the second aspect is, the efficient threat analysis. We do know people who are working in the industry, in the cybersecurity sector, they know that we do have tools like WiADS, right, which is a very popular tool. We have tools like Accunox, which is helping us to come up with the CVE, which is like vulnerability management, and also there are scanners like SonarType, SonarCube. So what these tools are doing is they're scanning the artifacts, they're scanning the code, whether it is Java, Node.js, C++, and it is identifying the vulnerabilities and it is providing the remediation steps. So in this way, we can identify the issue well in advance and address it through patches, whether it is security patches, major patches in the form of upgrades, right? So that is where the data-based AI architecture designs are really helping us. And operational efficiency is improving because we are including predictive analytics in the technology stack itself, wherein it is able to analyze what are the forthcoming issues and what are the addressed issues. So in that way, the executives or the management, they have the clear picture of the metrics as to what were the issues that were resolved by the teams, by whom, right, using the trial log and the audit log. So this is the benefit of the database solutions. So what are the use cases? And who are the beneficiaries, and in what way is AI architecture helping enterprises at all levels, whether it is engineers, lead engineers, principal engineers, architects, managers, product owners, executives like directors, VPs, and the CXOs, right? Everybody have a different use case, and that is where there are 6 aspects. And we can map it to the corresponding teams or the corresponding layer within an enterprise. So the first is the management layer. So management layer mostly focuses on the business outcomes, right? So they need a particular solution to improve their brand, wherein in terms of security. So that being said, when a customer feels confident about doing a business with a particular client or with a particular retailer, they will opt for that particular website. So that is where AI is helping, and even the AI-based architecture is integrating these solutions so that it creates the automated dashboards with the metrics that is desired by the management level. So when it comes to finances, especially in the large enterprises, their valuation is in terms of billions of dollars and trillions of dollars. So that being said, there is always this project, the projects are allocated a budget, there is investment and there is value derivative. So when the projects are in terms of hundreds and thousands, depending on the volume of the customers and depending on the scale of the the retailer, for example, or the industry, there is definitely a need to have the AI capabilities included, wherein the calculations are quite accurate and it is data-driven calculations based on the business outcomes or the task resolved and the number of resources we have within a team. So these are just the few metrics that could be used. And likewise, when we have to do the, payment, the timesheet analysis like every month. For example, a project manager has to do a timesheet approval every week or every month, depending on their schedule. And that being said, when they have to do it for thousands and thousands, how do we ensure that it is accurate and it is up to the mark, right? And that is where the AI-based products, which I'll be talking in the future slide, is addressing it. And then we have a lot of products and services that are already in the market that have already integrated the AI capabilities, especially Microsoft-based AI. Yeah, Microsoft-based AI services, they have integrated the predictive analytics within their clusters. Like they have certain services like Azure Kubernetes service, which has the predictive analytics based on which it calculates the resource consumption, right, at a node level and also over a period of time. That helps to come up with the optimized capacity planning, which helps in coming up with the solutions that are cost optimized and also resource optimized. And it is also helping us to predict the best business model depending on our requirements and the technical specifications. And in the market, any product that is integrated with AI is being considered by the clients because of its enhanced efficiency and also because of its better and accurate results. So initially, when the models were launched, like ChatGPT 3.5, we observed that for every iteration of a particular prompt, the accuracy of the output in terms of image and distortion was higher. But now it is being addressed with better models like Claude, Llama, wherein the accuracy is improving based on the prompts that we provide. Right? And risk management is highly critical, especially in the federal sector, especially in the banking sector and the retail sector, wherein customers are providing their sensitive information like SSN numbers and addresses, which needs to be maintained in a highly secure environment. And also we have sensitive data like credit card, debit card, bank, all of this has to be secured. Initially, there was a lot of noise around data leaks, but now systems from Intel are addressing it, and a lot of other product companies like AMD, NVIDIA is also addressing security within its offerings. So this is just the classic use case of the AIOps architecture, which is a typical example of the AI-based architecture, wherein we have the source data. The source data can be structured as well as unstructured. Typical example of unstructured, Git issues, Kanban board tickets, chats, traces, logs. Structured data, metrics, config, alerts, events. So there are 5 to 6 major stages in the AIOps architecture. The first being data ingestion, right? And the second being anomaly detection, wherein we are analyzing, okay, an event is logged at this date at say 2 o'clock, but when did the event actually occur? What is the lag? There is 3-second lag, right? So that is like we are detecting the anomaly, and we are also doing the metric anomaly detection. And then we are correlating it, coming up with a contextual analysis to come up with the most accurate and most relevant outcomes. And we are visualizing it using, Power BI, Tableau, and there are a lot of, cloud-native tools-based visualization tools like Azure Monitor, CloudWatch. And then we are automating and we are collaborating with the teams. We are upskilling the teams and, getting them to align with the AI architecture. And the final aspect is AI and SDLC governance. There's a term called responsible AI and ethical AI, which is gaining a lot of attention from academia as well as industries. So what is the, this is just a typical success formula of a AIOps architecture, wherein we are analyzing the efficiency based on what is the time and resources we are saving through automation divided by total operational time, right? Likewise, the cost savings formula. Based on the predictive analytics, we can predict up to 90% accuracy, wherein we can say, okay, these are the resources that were not consumed from the past 6 months. They were consumed at less than 10%, we can turn it off. So as soon as we introduce this AI capability, we are kind of saving the future money by actually shutting down or scaling down the instances, right? And the adoption and the impact formula. So when we talk about AI ops, it's mostly about the culture and also about the technology. But, whenever there is any new technology that is introduced, there is always, call from various teams about its adaptability, wherein there is always fear of having the job losses. Because if a new technology can do the work of 10 people at less than, 25% of the time, then, why would the companies want to spend dollars and millions of dollars on the resources, right? And that is where upskilling and training comes into play. Right, and what is the growth strategy? So first thing being operational scalability enhancement, efficient resource utilization, strategic decision support, and proactive issue prevention. So when I talk about scalability aspects, there is something called auto scaling, which the cloud platforms include it as a feature, wherein we are able to scale out and scale in. Right, either we reduce the number of nodes or we increase the number of nodes based on the traffic needs, right? So what AI does is, it is integrating the monitoring capabilities to predict the load within the next 1 month or within the next 2 months, right? And then we have the efficient resource utilization. So resource utilization is directly proportional to the cost, right? So if we are spinning up the resources that we are not using for months together, we are actually wasting a lot of money, right, which could be spent on more productive products, right? So that is where AI is helping us to flag those events, wherein the resources are unutilized and we are just running it, right? And then we have the strategic decision support. For example, I was talking about doing the comparative analysis of different solutions in IT architecture space. So this comparative analysis is faster, wherein we are uploading our documents and, through prompts we are asking, like, this is our technical specification, wherein we are expecting 2 million users in a span of 30 days. What should be the capacity that we should plan? And if we want it to be a HIPAA compliant or regulatory compliance, what are the, steps or measures that we have to take? What would be the average cost, right? And what are the features and products that we can make use of to achieve it? AI is helping us. And yes, issue prevention, proactive monitoring goes hand in hand. So these are the products that are currently providing this, wherein we have Splunk, which is the logging tool. We have Dynatrace, which is application performance monitoring tool. There are other similar tools like New Relic, Datadog. Even they are integrating the AI capabilities, but Dynatrace is hugely popular because it was a pioneer in application performance monitoring space. And then for the alerting and notification, generally teams prefer PagerDuty because it is very good in alerting and notifications, but there are also other forms of alerting through text, call, or text, call, or the email. Even that is effective. And yes, ServiceNow is a one-stop for a lot of things, right? Most of my clients use ServiceNow because it's a ticketing tool. It offers CMDB, wherein dynamically the inventory updates from different cloud platforms and also the hybrid cloud platforms, right? And it has integrated AI ops, and it has integration with 5 major cloud platforms already. So it is a go-to platform for a number of use cases. So these are the 4 products in AI ops space that are primarily in the market at the moment. So there are certain adaptability challenges, but the companies are addressing those challenges through their product and service offerings. The complexity has reduced because there are a lot of products with a niche in a specific field. For example, in business architecture, in data architecture, right? And also ensuring trust in AI outputs. Even this has been improving because the data is becoming more and more secure by including the confidential computing cores that are being offered by companies like Intel, AMD, NVIDIA as well. And data silos and fragmentation is a big challenge, not today, but since decades. With concepts like data mesh, service mesh, this also is being addressed. And of course, in any organization, adaptability, and there is always a resistance to change, but with awareness, upskilling, and being inclusive enough, I think we can address those challenges. So there are some ethical considerations in AI-driven architecture design, right? The first aspect is we have to ensure data is safe, data is secure, and the output is accurate, right? Privacy, transparency, and fairness are key, and that is where companies like Wells Fargo, Intel, they're coming up with their own chatbots, wherein the data remains within their own data center, or it remains within their tenant in the cloud platform, right? And data usage must be handled responsibly. Must be handled responsibly. This is really important because, especially with the logs and tracing, the cost goes high exponentially, right? And that is where we have to be mindful of this. And yes, AI is transformational. It is addressing data privacy and coming up with more secure platforms. And it is also very complementary in enhancing the speed of deliverables and design accuracy. So we have come up with 6 patents in AI space using AI solutions for network security architecture, and for cloud security platform, the devices to track the network pattern when there is a data transfer from source to destination. So we have 6, I have listed 2. One is a German utility patent, and the other one is a UK design patent. And we also have filed a patent with the United States office, which is at the initial phase. But yes, there is a lot of progress happening, and I would be happy to take any questions from the audience.
I guess I'll go first. So my question is, you had right here, you had a slide where you showed 4 different kinds of metrics on how you sort of measure the success of implementing AI architecture. Those are obviously metrics that we've used for other things before AI in the tech space. Do you think that technology leaders or business leaders which one of these do you think it's harder for you to keep explaining under an AI paradigm versus like before AI?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So I, being in the architecture space, I'm always a connect between the technical teams and the business leaders, right? So that being said, I have to speak to business leaders in a language they understand. For them, cost is important, investment is important, return on investment is important, and whether the product is secure, is it trustworthy, reliable, is it going to build the consumer base, and is it going to build the brand reputation and customer confidence, is what they understand. Of course, there are technical terms that they seek for in terms of the metrics, the total data, what is the total data cost, is it safe enough, what are the tools and technologies we are going for, and what is the annual cost for the subscription. And if you have opted for a subscription, are we making use of it to its maximum threshold, rather than keeping it underutilized and wasting it. So whenever I try to speak, I always keep that in mind, whether I'm talking to the technical team who are coming up with the solutions, or whether I'm talking with the technical team that are implementing the solutions, or whether I'm talking to the business teams or the clients who are seeking specific specific features in a product, whether we are offering those or not. So that is what has helped me, and I think, yeah.
So I'd love to hear about how you balance what AI suggests as a solution versus what your engineer might think as a solution.
Yeah, that's a very good question. See, the very first thing is my engineer might be technically up to the mark, right? Because they are well qualified with all sorts of certifications coming with, decades of experience in the industry. And when it comes to AI, we have agentic AI these days, which can actually replicate what an engineer is doing. It depends on what data is being fed, right? And in real time, it is more situational, where a engineer might be able to handle things better than an AI. Because in AI, we are providing a prompt and it is giving us response. But in real time, whenever we are onboarding new clients or new business, the human touch is very much important, because they will invest or they will buy the products based on who is leading a specific platform and what is the brand reputation of that of that enterprise, or how have they handled the things in the past, right? What are their reviews on multiple platforms? What has been written about them in the press, right? So that holds true even today as well. Of course, consumers are looking for AI-based solutions because it's much faster and it's also low cost. So if I ask an engineer to come up to handle 20 tickets, he would take, say, 2 to 3 months, depending on the complexity of the task. But with agentic AI, if it is able to do it within, say, 20 days, then obviously, based on the use case, either we go with agentic AI, provided we have evaluated its accuracy and we have evaluated its performance, right? Otherwise, of course, until we reach that stage, because still it's in the transition phase, we go with the technical engineering team, which will have many engineers to provide their inputs and insights. And based on the data that's provided, we kind of evaluate and go with the best optimized solution, considering cost, budget, speed of deliverables that the business is desiring, and so on and so forth. Yeah, thank you. Any more questions? Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.